Hi, Top Chris Salvador here with my Ant-Man pitch. So basically, Ant-Man is something Edgar Wright and everybody's trying to do. There's a video of him doing Ant Fu where he kind of morphs into a big and small, man. He goes from big size to little size, and he just, people can't shoot at him and he can fight. But I was thinking when I saw Iron Man 3, the minute as it was about to end, I turned to my friend. I go, I wonder if the post-credit sequence is going to be that Ant-Man, Hank Pym, Henry Pym, whatever. I don't really know too much about Ant-Man. I think it's Hank Pym. I said, I wonder if he's the abandoned father to Harley Keener. And maybe he just never married the mom, and it was a one-night stand or something, and she had a baby, and he disappeared, and he didn't run away from the child. It was that he was working on the technology for Ant-Man, and I'm thinking maybe he could be the father that comes back in Here's My Pitch. I'm thinking that Harley will be in his lab, and then he'll see Ant-Man under a magnifying glass who's trying to connect with him, talk to him, and basically that could be a sort of Indian in the cupboard kind of stupid thing, but he basically realizes that his suit, its malfunction, has had problems, he's had battles, and he's been, traveling, and all these years he's been abandoned, and that sounds a little, but he basically goes to the lab, meets up with his son works on the suit with him, and then they both end up fighting the main villains of the piece, which are the people who gave the powers. They're Asgardian villains. They're these kind of connected, not in the world of science, but in the world of the realms of the Midgard and all those kind of realms, the Cosmosians. So Firebird will be introduced, and Miss Marvel and possibly Hulk will be in the movie to help fight this new threat, the Cosmosians, who can have shrinking ships, so their ships can shrink, making it hard for the Hulk to smack them around, and their soldiers can shrink down and shrink up, and it's a whole, like it's like War of the Worlds, just shrinking tripods up and down, and we can have that there's a character relationship between Harley, or what his name would have been, Henry Pym, and his father Hank in this whole Iron Man 3 post world. And there could be cameos by Tony Stark, and I think the only one should be in it is Black Widow and Hulk. Those are the only two Avengers that should show up, is the Hulk and Black Widow, and fight with S.H.I.E.L.D., with the Cosmosians and stuff. And then we could have a cool ending where they realize in order to destroy the army, they have to get them all in one ship, put all the soldiers, so it's kind of like stormtroopers, they're all on this Death Star thing, and they think if we shrink it and we take away their shrinking abilities, which could work in, haven't thought of it, they have to find a way to shrink and unshrink and disable them, and basically shrink the ship down, and it'll squish and kill everybody. And then the Hank Pym's son could get trapped in there as it shrinks, and it ends that he's the death that triggers the Avengers, but it could have a cool post-credit sequence that, doesn't make that necessarily so, with a character that we all think is Tony Stark showed up, maybe saved him. No, it could be the introduction of the villain because it would be cool if they fight the aliens, Ant-Man fights these aliens, and it's such a big army, and how can we win? And then they disperse, they fight, they kill a bunch of them, they think they've won, but the aliens leave, and then they end. The post credits could be Quicksilver helped the boy survive, and that Thanos wants this army, and so he basically calls them off the invasion of Earth. They kind of jump the gun on an invasion based on a message and a contact that was sent out with Ant-Man. So this is my kind of Ant-Man pitch, bringing the relationship between Michael C. Hall, who I'd love to cast as Ant-Man, and his son, Ty Simpkins. This is all early, it might be new actors, it might not be this or that, but if it could come out before Avengers 2, we can see these kind of race and other races of aliens and Asgardians battling the 22 Avengers that I said. So the introduction of Firebird, Ant-Man, Ty, Simpkins, Harley, and Miss Marvel could all be in this movie. and Falcon and War Machine have already been introduced. So there we go. That's my Ant-Man pitch. Hopefully it works out. That maybe Joss Whedon or someone is watching. If you're interested, go tweet these people. Spread the video like Patton Oswalt's video got spread, and hopefully we can work on it. And I have pitches for much more pitches for other things. But for now, I guess I just try pitching this because I mean this stuff has to happen immediately, like months now after you watch this. It has to. If it doesn't, if Joss doesn't write this, if it doesn't come together, it'll be a lot harder to. You'll have to push back the Avengers 2 release, and they're not going to push back the Avengers 2 release. And money problems are the least of the worries for Avengers 2 for paying Robert Downey Jr. It seems like there's so much you could put in Avengers. It feels like that movie's going to be like $250 million anyway. So here we go, and that's my Ant-Man, and hopefully Edgar Wright. And I don't know if Edgar Wright might be down with this, but it's we'll see. So that's my Ant-Man pitch, and there we go.